Welcome back to On a Friday. It's episode 5. This week it was Andrew's choice, and he picked Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart and his magic band. Andrew, there's 28 tracks on this album.
Ah, wait. I thought that's at 8. Sorry, I guess I'm dyslexic with numbers too.
Oh God, strap in, folks. This one's gonna be a long one. Oh boy.
Don't
Do
worry,
you
this
have
is our
anything to
first.
say for yourself?
Don't worry, this is our first listen of the album, and you know what? Just like Napoleon Dynamite, we'll come right back to it, and we'll have a much better time the second time around.
I'm never listening to this album again.
I wrote one thing: Schrodinger's music.
That's very generous. What? What?
God.
uh, well, the 4th of July was this week. How'd that go for you, my friend?
Bang bang.
Bang bang.
Fireworks.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Cars go beep beep beep.
We've really gotten good at this, haven't we?
I'm wearing my sunglasses, and you cannot fucking touch me.
I okay. Well, I saw some friends this week. Had a good time. Had some cohol, some alcohol. It hung out. Saw the new Fast and Furious movie F9. It was a movie. Definitely was a movie.
They're really close to filling up all those keys at the top.
What?
You said F9, right?
Shut up. God. Okay. Well, let's do the news. God.
Oh boy! My favorite. Well, guess what?
What?
Butthole Surfers
Butthole Surfers.
collaborate with Supreme for a new clothing line.
Really?
Yes, just like My Bloody Valentine. A couple years back?
Do the
Something like that.
clothes say Butthole Surfers on it?
I have no idea.
Oh, I
But
hope
to this
so.
day, I do think that Butthole Surfers is a wonderful name for a band.
Oh, it's great.
The White Stripes. White Blood Cells turns 20.
Are they doing anything for that?
No,
Oh,
as far as I gathered.
no.
And as far as I gathered, all I read was a headline.
Hmm.
So, I have no idea. I only read headlines. Welcome to the random number generator.
It's like you're like a Facebook mom.
I really am.
You repost articles without actually reading the articles. You just see the headline. You're like,
Give
I
me, give
agree
me,
with
give me a
that.
couple, give me a couple months, and it'll be anti-vax. It's all right.
Oh no. Oh God. Please don't. Oh God.
What are you talking about? Essential oils will save me, just like
Oh
that ritual
God.
circle.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. Do you have more news or should I do news?
Big Red Machine has released a couple new singles: Latter Days, The Ghost of Cincinnati, and Renegade, featuring Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and their album How Long Do You Think It's Gonna Last is coming out August 27th, and those I believe are all on there. See, we got the same news.
This is our pop crossover for
Pop
once.
crossover.
All right, what do you have?
I have a lot of stuff. Poppy released a new single called Her. I assume it's probably the lead single off of her next album. And there's a video for it. It's like this weird stop motion craziness, and I think it's pretty good. It doesn't go like as screamo as more recent stuff from her has, so it's pretty good. Tenacious D released a cover of the Beatles' "You Never Give Me Your Money" and "The End" from their Abbey Road album, and that's a wild time.
The fuck? Why are you including this in the what?
It's
How am I
Tenacious
supposed to
D.
cover me? I'm supposed to cover this shit. What? I'm really doing my job well.
Yeah. Funk pop band Lawrence released a music video for their recent single "Don't Lose Sight" ahead of their upcoming album Hotel TV, which releases on July 23rd. And then songs have been released from the Netflix series We the People, which is pretty much Schoolhouse Rock for like American history and government and stuff. And it includes songs from Adam Lambert, Her, Janelle Monáe, BB Rexa, Brandy Carlisle, Lin-Manuel Miranda. The list goes on. Just a ton of people were involved with that, and that's what I have.
Hooray!
That's the news, which means we have to get into the album that you chose to listen to.
Oh yeah. I'm very happy. You know what? Here at Frownland, my smile is stuck.
Andrew, who the fuck is Captain Beefheart?
Oh god, I gotta whew. Captain Beefheart. Oh god, how do I where do I begin? Where do I
Somewhere.
begin? I have to begin with the Wikipedia page because I need to bring that back up.
He,
Captain Beefheart and his magic band. Let's talk about Trout Mask Replica. Basically, Captain Beefheart wanted to have his band members live this album. And basically, they survived on a bare substance diet. Substance.
yeah.
I can speak English. I swear to fucking god. But basically, yeah, they lived in a couple, like a small cup of soybean beans a day for a month, and yeah, isn't it a wonderful way to live
You're
with being
being very
malnourished?
generous right now about how that went down.
Oh no, it was terrible. It
Because
was absolutely
I read a
terrible.
little bit more from that. I'm going to read this from Wikipedia. Van Vliet, which is Beefheart's actual name, implemented his vision by asserting complete artistic and emotional dominance of his musicians. At various times, one or another of the band members were put in the barrel, with Van Vliet berating him continually, sometimes for days, until the musician collapsed in tears or in total submission to Van Vliet. These sessions often included physical violence. This is horrible.
Well,
This is horrible.
things were rougher in the 1960s.
Van Vliet once told drummer John French he had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and he would see not existent conspiracies that explain his behavior. This is wild, dude.
I wonder why he's hiding behind a mask.
Also, you failed to tell me
That's
who
what the mask is.
you failed to tell me who Captain Beefheart was.
You don't need to know that.
Fucking hell.
I don't even know who Captain Beefheart is. You
Oh, does
want me to
anyone? I think, as far as I'm aware, he made music before. Because what is this? Like their third Magic Band's third album or something? But like everything before this point was like I don't know. It was under a different like label or whatever, and it wasn't. This shit's wild. This album's fucking wild. First of all, it's not on Spotify. A lot of songs from it are via later compilation albums or live versions from later live albums, but the album in its entirety is not on Spotify. It's all on YouTube though. Yeah, this is their third album, and honestly, I have no idea if any of their other work is as batshit insane as this is. But I don't know. I hope not. I hope. God,
You're right, it's not on fucking Spotify. What the fuck?
no, it's not. And I'm kind of glad it's not because I really don't want to financially support. I don't want to contribute to any sort of financial gain that came from this.
What are you
Honest,
talking about? The vinyl looks sick
I
as
don't.
fuck.
I don't care. Like, do you not hear the physical abuse part?
They're all dead.
I don't care. That doesn't make it okay.
I know it doesn't make it okay, but listen, the vinyl's pretty cool looking. I mean,
Oh man, Frank Zappa produced this album, and he's known for, as far as I'm aware, I think satire music, like not full on comedy music, but like a lot of stuff with like social commentary and a humorous light. Like I don't really know a lot about him, but he's considered a legend, you know?
yeah.
Apparently Zappa and Beefheart, which is how I will refer to him, were friends in high school. So, yeah, it's good to have connections.
Strange how connections work.
Yeah.
So, do we jump into the album? Thanks for doing that, by the way, because I clearly don't know how to pull my information together.
No, you don't.
No, I
God.
listen. Reading a Wikipedia page is difficult when you don't have it pulled up within the first 2 seconds of the recording.
Bro, I started reading about this album and like I couldn't stop because everything I read was more wild than the previous thing.
Just like this album, it just gets progressively
More wild.
stranger and weird. I mean, hey, yeah, you know what? You're right, wild, because there's wildlife in this album. You know,
That's like a thing I've been saying recently. Like every now and then, I'm sure depending on how long we do this podcast, like listeners will catch on. But I get these like verbal tics, where I'll say like a certain word or phrase a lot, like within the span of a few months. And I think my new thing is wild. I'll just
Well,
say
good.
that's wild.
This album will cover that
Oh,
just for you.
yes, it will.
Frownland.
Frownland, the opening track. This is the song that you played for me after we finished recording last week's episode, and I believe my words were something along the lines of, it sounds like a combination of the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Leonard Skinner, and a blues singer, but they are just thrown together and not mixed at all, so it sounds like several different songs being played at once.
Yes. Yes, you did tell me that. And here's what I wrote down. Music is sublime. No problems, only smiles. The guitars are disjointed. The bass sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. The drums fit in a Yes song. The vocals are that of a psychotic breakdown in spoken word. That is all I wrote.
It's just, it's like, okay, I just, this is
I can
incoherent.
I can
It's
bring out my guitar
It's fucking
and
no, no. It's
I
fucking incoherent. Like what? Like bring out your guitar and do what?
I was gonna play some notes on it.
Well. Here's the thing, right?
I call it my
Unless
cover
you can
Frownland.
play, unless you can play like multiple different songs at the same time, but like different songs at the same time, you can't do that with just one guitar.
It's all different time signatures also. So that
Yes,
makes it a little bit more of a pain in the ass to do.
Yes! Like, there's a comment on the YouTube video for this song that said, quote, "This music perfectly describes vomiting alcohol. Kind of cleansing, but feels like pain." Another one says, "It's the musical equivalent of getting jumped in an alleyway."
Someone here wrote Guitar Center on Sundays.
God,
Oh my
it's
god.
fucking awful. Oh, man.
No, I think it's a perfect introduction for what this album has to
Oh,
offer.
oh, it's not misleading at all. It tells you exactly what you're getting into. Like,
I don't want to go back to your frown land. My impression. My terrible, shitty impression. The dust blows forward, and the dust blows back.
so this is a
Yeah,
better song, but only because it's not a disjoint out of sync mess, because it's completely a cappella with only Beefheart singing and the sound of a footstep after every line.
that isn't a footstep. That's a cut.
It's a what?
I think that's like an actual cut because it sounds to me. I thought that sounded like when you switch tracks or something.
Oh, it sounded like a
Like
footstep to
in
me, but it could have been that.
because like to me, it felt like the words were just chopped, especially towards the end there because they make no sense. It was like what?
Interesting. Well, to me, it sounds like he's singing a song that like he didn't write, just like casually to himself,
Hmm.
like including like the parts where he forgets the words or like stutters over a lyric. Like this was the only take they did for this song, you know. Like I feel like he
Yeah.
sat down to record it and they just went with his first draft. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was completely improvised, not written beforehand.
Well, I feel like a lot of the songs are because it's like it very much is like a poetry slam, like a free verse poetry slam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's free verse poetry slam sung as if it's like just a dude singing to himself as he's walking down the street alone.
Yeah. But to me, like just to kind of reiterate on what I pointed out, that the whole thing being cut. I say this because of the last three words spoken, because I felt like to me that those did not like line up at all. They felt very drawn from a hat. Me and my girl named Bimbo Limbo Spam.
Are you gonna quote every song?
Fast and bulbous.
Fast and bulbous. I got another YouTube comment on this song. Quote, "This should be the national anthem of Florida."
They do not stop. The people, the commentators of this album, they have everything to say about it.
Right.
This album speaks for itself.
It really. I don't know that it does, but we'll get to it.
Dachau Blues?
Dachau Blues. So suddenly, a song about the Holocaust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dachau. Dachau was the name of a concentration camp. The song is literally about the atrocities of World War II, and it's just a straight up war protest song. But like not about Vietnam, mind you, but about preventing World War III.
A couple worse songs on this, believe it or well, I was gonna say believe it or not, but you fucking listen to it. What? But
Yeah,
there are a couple worse songs on this, which is
like like
something I
top
didn't
like
expect.
meaning wise.
I mean, like in a literal sense.
Oh, like quality wise.
Well, not quality wise. I mean, like lyrically, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
mean,
I'm surprised.
at a certain point, I stopped paying that much attention to what songs were about. But this one I definitely did, and I think there's a good song here. There is a good song here, but the vocals are still done in that fucking out of sync with the instrumental way, and it just kills the song for me. Like if someone
I
took these lyrics and turned it into a completely different song, that would be great. But this is what we
so
have, and it sucks.
you know what I wrote down? The song musically started making sense, and I finally started thinking that my mental state was breaking down. Same as it always was.
Same as it ever was.
The inclusion of the voice recording at the end I was quite interesting.
What even was it? I don't remember it.
I don't remember either, but I didn't understand why it was there. And there are a couple like songs on here where they definitely have that weird like voice recording at the end, even though it's like
Yeah,
not even. Well, I mean, it's sort of related to the song, but
it's not. None of it
it's.
usually
I mean,
is.
I mean, this the one for this song did. It felt connected, sort of. But for
Okay.
the other ones, I can't say that the same way. Ella Guru.
El Guru. Is it bad that I think this is the best song so far?
I said that this song was moderately enjoyable until he started harmonizing with the background vocalist.
Well, see, I kind of, I don't want to say I kind of like it, but it's the best one so far, which is a low bar, because it's actually almost cohesive. Like I'm sure he still tried to do that like out of sync shit, but like maybe because of the tempo of the song, it actually sort of lines up with the instrumental. Lyrically, it's a fucking mess, but like, I actually don't mind the individual parts, Like, it seems
Yeah,
like all the instruments are maybe one turn out of tune or something, but that's the whole fucking album. And it
yeah,
has,
yeah.
and well, like you said, the backing vocals, it has these weird high pitched backing vocals at some points. But that kind of reminds me of the very early David Bowie song, The Laughing Gnome, which is also stupid as hell,
Oh
but like I get a
fuck!
kick out of it.
I remember listening to that once because I was curious, and I did not enjoy it. It felt like a
Well,
cheesy kid
it's
song.
stupid as hell, and like the thing about David Bowie is David Bowie was always like a decade ahead of his time, but that was so of its time, or maybe even behind its time. But I still get like a kick out of it. So I'll say this song is not utter garbage.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not utter garbage. God.
Hair pie, bake one.
Hair pie bake one. I was really hoping that the instrumental tracks would actually be good because they don't have the intentionally out of sync vocals. This is not the
Yeah.
case.
What?
This is a bunch of people who have never played brass and woodwind instruments before playing brass and woodwind instruments.
Oh yeah, that okay. I thought I was like wondering like what the fuck was with all the horns in the intro because I wrote down like oh god all the horns in the intro and I know that like lasted about a minute. I also had this to say
Was it
about the
only a
album so
minute?
far. It was like a minute 24 or something like
It
that.
felt like an eternity.
I feel like I made a mistake picking this album now.
You did.
Doing this whole thing in one sitting, dear god.
I'll admit, when the guitar comes in, it's a pretty good riff for a moment, and then it's not.
I I enjoyed it for a bit, to be honest. It remind like oh this entire song kind of well, once the guitars start kicking in, I started thinking, oh wow, proto math rock.
Don't. Look, I've never fully understood math rock, but that's fucking rude to math rock.
What do you mean? It's listen, this is proto math rock. It's not math rock, but it's before math rock, which makes this way more significant, I would say. Also, the horns sound like geese.
Yes, the horns do sound like geese. I mentioned later in a later song because these fucking horns come back. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a double album. This is track 5. These horns come back. Like I mentioned later that a song sounds like geese being tortured.
Yeah,
God. And then
it
at,
doesn't
at,
stop.
at the end of Hair Pie Bake 1, there's a weird conversation thrown in at the end in which Captain Beefheart tells two randos like who he is and then forgets what song he's recording. And that's it. That's the bit. That's the whole bit.
I also wrote down this Bush recording mentioning an octofish.
Yeah. He's
What the
like,
fuck is an octofish?
well, he's like, oh yeah, we're recording this song, and then he names a song that's later on the album, and then he's like, wait, that's not the song. It's Hair Pie Bake One, and that's the whole bit. So stupid.
Moonlight on Vermont.
Moonlight on Vermont is a fan favorite, apparently.
Don't worry, Nationwide has you covered.
What?
What? You did hear the song, right?
I heard the song. If that's a lyric in
Yeah.
it, I didn't retain it.
But it's not a lyric. It's like a guitar line.
Oh, the Nationwide is on your side thing?
Yeah. That little jingle is played by like one of the lead guitar lines.
I don't know if
Here, hold up. I got you a link.
Well, I feel like I remember that because I remember some stuff that I was like, that kind of sounds like this, but I won't say anything about it. Okay, hold on. It's another. Let's listen to the song in the middle of the. Yeah. Okay. I definitely thought that when I heard it too, but I didn't write anything down about it because I was like, surely that jingle didn't exist before this song.
No, it didn't, but I still included it anyway because I thought it was funny.
I will
Black Midi
say,
covered this song.
Black Midi covered this song. Fucking. I will say that this actually resembles good music. I'm not going to say that it is good music, but I can actually imagine someone somewhere.
Legally distinctive music.
I can actually imagine someone somewhere listening to this recreationally as opposed to ironically.
Recreationally? This is a drug now? What the fuck?
Well, no, cause like,
I'm gonna need to take drugs to listen to this album.
I can't. You honestly fucking do. But like, I can't
I listen
imagine.
to sober.
Like 98. I'd say, you know what? 27 out of 28 of the songs on this. No, 26 out of 28 songs of this album. Like, I can't imagine people listening to unironically. Like, you can listen to it as a joke or like to do a fucking podcast because your friend fucking shows Trout Mask Replica. But like
your friend has something to show you and they think it's cool and it's this album.
But I can imagine somebody listening to Moonlight in Vermont and being like, yeah, I kind of vibe to this, I can imagine somebody putting it in their playlist and listening to it in the car. I can't say that about anything else on this album.
I feel like this is very much of a case of like Napoleon Dynamite. Like occasionally, like I feel like it gets better the more you listen to it. Potentially, I say this because I have listened to bits and pieces of this like album before, and for me, some of the aspects of it kind of clicked, for better or for worse. I can say that some of the aspects kind of like start making sense.
And I've heard that from people because people praise this fucking album as a masterpiece. People praise it as a masterpiece, and I'll get to why I think they do that later. But like a lot of people have said, like you just got to listen to it a couple times. Like you can't just listen to it once and have that be your opinion on it. But that's what I'm gonna do because I never want to hear anything on this album ever again in my life.
That's all right. This is your Bon Jovi.
This is
for me.
Yeah.
From me, my opinion, Bon Jovi. There you go. That was not English.
I did say that you need to get me back for choosing sour and slippery when wet, and here you are, getting me back.
I chose the worst thing. This is like a mad situation, like mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Cadaver.
Thank you.
The only single.
Was this actually a single?
Moonlight in Vermont was not a single. Cuckoo Cadaver was a single.
Oh my fucking god!
It was the only single.
I thought the fucking single was a different song.
What, Moonlight on Vermont?
No, this one and Wildlife.
Oh, well, Wildlife was a B-side to this.
It was a B-side. I'm just saying, I thought like the A-side was a different song.
Yeah. This one still feels improvised, but it was actually really good until about 3 minutes in when the fucking woodwind and brass instruments come back. And then they stopped, and it got kind of good again. But those ruined the song.
The bass just keeps going.
Keeps going.
It goes on and on. And you know what?
What?
You can finally play along with the band, with the rubber band, because the bass only plays 2 notes.
God.
The second half of the song sounds like a song until the horn.
The fucking horn.
The horns. And I also wrote down that the lyrics to these songs are just outright confusing to me unless I specifically look them up.
I looked at all the lyrics to these songs. I won't say I actually retained anything from them because they seemed like nonsense most of the time.
It probably was. My ability to decipher these songs have been difficult without aid.
I mean, that's why I'm saying this one still feels improvised, because it's fucking nonsense. Like, these words don't mean anything. What the fuck is a Pakuko cadaver?
I don't
What even
know.
is Pakuko?
Someone's name is that. And somewhere out there, we just offended him.
I don't care, dude. If your name's Pakuko, I'm so sorry that you've been desecrated by the only association with your name being Captain Beefheart and his fucking magic band.
Somewhere in the 60s or late 70s or whatever, someone took some acid, decided that this was a good idea.
Someone took
Instead
some
of naming their
acid,
kid Sunflower,
listened
they
to this
named it
album
that.
while they conceived you, and named you Pakuko.
They go by Cadaver. They go by, yeah.
Your middle name's Cadaver.
No, your middle name's P. Cadaver.
Oh god.
Billy's corpse.
Bill's corpse. Is it Billy?
Bill's? It's Bill's corpse. What the
It's Bill's
fuck?
corpse. Track 8. Jesus,
God,
dude.
I've listened to this album right before the recording. I was on a way, but I was here the entire time because I needed to buy time to listen to the album because I had delayed the inevitable for too long. God, never doing that again.
I listened to this days ago. I was trying to balance listening to this and editing last week's, and it went up. Last week's ended up going up really late because didn't realize how much time it would take when after every fucking song, I had to sit there for like 5 minutes just contemplating my decisions in life.
I love this album.
But yeah, Bill's Corpse.
Yes.
You know, just looking at the lyrics of these songs, some of them seem really profound, but I also think it's possible for words to appear profound without actually being profound.
Speaking a lot of words, but you're not saying much.
Right. I think Captain Beefheart knew what he was doing, and he intentionally wrote shit that is supposed to sound really deep, but in reality it's just improvised nonsense.
I wrote that this is louder than a bomb in song form. Sweet, sweet bulbs.
I'm running
Yeah.
out of things to say about these songs.
But don't worry about that. That's okay. We have like what? We've gone through like what? 8, 9 of them.
8. We have
10?
20 left.
Sweet, sweet bulbs.
Sweet, sweet bulbs. Like,
You know what I wrote?
what'd you write?
I have no idea what to write.
God. Like, I feel like maybe the reason like that people like this album so much is because of the novelty of how cacophonous it is. But that gimmick only works for so long. This is a double album. Like, even if you thought Frownland was unique and interesting, when all 28 songs are exactly the same, it's no longer unique.
You know when Captain Beefheart wanted his band members to live in this album, I finally understand what he was trying to go for because now I finally feel like I lived this album too because now I wish that the album grew hands and beat me with a club so that I wouldn't remember this.
I feel like it did do that.
Oh no, it did. Towards the end, yes. Neon neat.
I
Wait.
mean, Neon Meat Dream of a Octofish.
There's an E in there. That threw me off.
Neon Meat
You know what?
Dream of an Octofish, the aforementioned song at the end of Half Pie Bake 1.
You know what's amazing about this song?
What?
The instrumentation finally plays together in time. For
Does
just
it?
a little bit. Yes.
I didn't even notice.
Captain Beefheart blasts poetry, and an instrument fades towards the end, becoming the most important thing in the mix that summarizes where my brain is at right now.
Yeah, like, for some reason, Beefheart's vocals aren't, like, as deep and raspy here as they are in every other song. I think this one takes the cake for weirdest lyrics. Like, every line sounds like a Mondegreen or, like, something you would have to guess in the game Mad Gab, where it's a bunch of, like, words put together that are supposed to sound like another phrase. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I'm thinking Mad Libs.
No, it's Mad Gab, where like it's a bunch of. I'm just gonna say my definition again. It's a bunch of words that are like nonsense words that when you put them together they don't mean anything, but when you say them out loud they sound like another phrase.
Oh.
I don't know, but here it's all
I don't know.
it's all nonsense. They're not actually
Yeah.
Montegreens. It's all nonsense. Weird.
China Pig.
China Pig! This was recorded with a potato!
No, 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 no. That's the charm of it. It has the quality of a bootleg recording.
It literally sounds like a demo, which is tragic because it's actually a pretty decent blues song about having to eat your pet pig.
No, I didn't think about it at all. I thought I wrote down this. Haha, piggy bank.
It could, see, I couldn't get like no one could agree. It's either about piggy bank or literally a pig. I couldn't tell. I went with the eating your pet pig thing, but it could be piggy bank.
I went with piggy bank because it's easier to joke about.
But it's a good blues song. But why is it that the only good song on this album is recorded in the worst possible quality?
I don't know, but you know what I found interesting? Towards the end, somebody like pressed the fast forward button for a split sec.
Did they? Oh god. Like
I don't know.
I'm starting to think that this album was made to be intentionally bad, but people ate it up and called it an unironic masterpiece.
I mean, Frank Zappa, from what I read, just didn't take the album too seriously either. This was just like a side thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah. He just produced it and
Yeah,
was like
I
there
mean,
for
hey,
recording sessions. It wasn't his baby. It was Captain Beefheart's baby.
it was. I also did write this down. I thought I had more to say, but I ended up finding myself impressed with the direction this album takes. Even though a majority of it is composed questionably, there's something very unique about it. My Human Gets Me Blues.
This one almost feels actually profound. Like I think it's about religion. I can't be bothered to look any further into it, but I think it's about that.
Just keep coming, Jesus. You're
Just
the
keep
best
going.
dressed. That is all I need to keep moving forward now. And like the weird thing is, as the song goes, it all kind of comes together at the end.
See, when you say comes together at the end, you just mean like the last section of it, right?
Yeah.
Because the actual end, like, this is when I realized I hate how all of these songs end because they literally just stop playing.
Yeah.
There's no like natural like coming to a close. They just stop playing and it's awful.
Listen, not every song has to be a Journey song. Or
No,
a
no,
Slippery When Wet
it
song.
doesn't fucking matter. I don't mean like you can do a fade out, you can actually end the song. They don't do either. They just stop playing.
I think that's the charm of it.
It's not charming.
If that's
It
quote unquote
sucks.
charm. I mean, it's better than,
End your
at least for me at
songs.
least. I like that better than having fade outs on everything.
End your songs.
Dally's Car.
Dally's Car. Wow, an actually almost good instrumental.
There's a weird aspect of this where I could hear something like this being done today, minus the weirdness of the composition.
Yeah,
It is weirdly alternative rock.
yeah, because it's still out of tune, but like I wouldn't call it cacophonous like Hair Pie Bake 1.
Yeah. Hair Pie Bake 2.
Hair Pie Bake 2. Now this instrumental sucks a lot more than Dally's Car, but it does make me wish that the whole album was instrumental because at least that would be listenable.
I was amazed at the intro, and I think it was like the first 3 seconds.
Yeah, that adds up. If there's any shred of good music on this album, it's in very short bursts.
I think Stockholm Syndrome has kicked in. I really wish I could listen to something else right now. I'm only halfway through the album. Holy fuck, I just realized around a minute 14, this sounds like No Doubt's Just a Girl.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's great. Also, I just realized when I hit this song that Bake 1 and Bake 2 are supposed to be puns on take, like a take of a song. And I can respect a good pun when I hear it.
I didn't even notice that. That went
Oh,
over my
I
head.
thought you would notice immediately, and I was like, oh, it took me this long.
No, it went over my head.
Okay, but yeah, it's supposed to be like take.
Penna.
Pina,
Pina. Penna. Whatever.
Fast and Bulbous.
Fast and Bulbous.
That's right, the
That's
mascara
right.
snake.
The mascara snake. Fast and bulbous. Also a tin teardrop. Bulbous also tapered.
That's right.
The person yelling sounds like Stamper.
Why did you scream that? Why
This
did
is
you?
erupt chaos in song form. Everyone is losing their shit. I'm losing my shit.
Anyways, this is awful. and just another
What do you,
person in the magic
what do you mean? I
band.
used to listen to this unironically.
No,
for a
you
bit
used
of
to
time,
listen
and
to the intro unironically.
Wait, what?
The intro, the Fast and Bulbous.
Yeah?
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and Bulbous.
I know.
Also a tin teardrop.
I would listen to the
Bulbous
rest of
also
the song
tapered.
also.
That's right.
Yeah. And I would listen to the
The
rest,
rest
of the song.
is just another person in the magic band doing a nonsensical monologue with screaming and baby noises in the background.
Yeah, music. to my ears.
No!
Yes! Fast and Bulbous.
Fast and Bulbous. That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and Bulbous.
Well.
Well, it's track 16, another a cappella song.
Song as well. And everything said as well. I am well. Well, this album hasn't clicked yet well. Maybe I can figure it out soon. Well, maybe soon. Well.
I see what you did there.
Well.
I actually don't hate this one, but normal instrumentation with it would make it a lot better. But unfortunately, we know that's impossible. Is what I would say, but apparently David Byrne of the Talking Heads performed this song at the start of his 1993 solo live album, Between the Teeth, from his Uh-Oh tour.
Interesting.
And it has like rhythmic drums behind it, and it actually sounds really good. So like I said, there's good songs here. It's just not these versions of them.
I feel like anybody could improve them.
Yeah.
No, not anybody.
Anybody.
I actually take
no,
it back.
anybody.
I
I'll
take
say
it back.
that.
I take it back.
You're not willing to say that, I'll say that. Anybody could make these songs better. Captain Beefheart
whatever.
could make these songs better. He just didn't.
When Big Joan sets up.
The saxophone solo in this song sounds like a fucking goose. It sounds like geese were tortured in the making of this song. That is all.
I wrote down good trumpet solo.
It sounds like geese being tortured. Remember earlier when I said a later song sounds like geese being tortured? It's this one.
Also, the lyrics.
That's all I wrote. The geese being tortured.
That's all you wrote?
All I wrote was the geese were tortured. I don't remember the lyrics.
Stockholm Syndrome probably kicked in, but I found the lyrics, like, these really fucking stupid lyrics funny. I don't know why. You know what? Also, I wrote down this. After Captain Beefheart said something about, like, a Merc Monteclair, even the song doesn't know what to do with that information. The trumpet wailing is my reaction to the album thus far. By the way, the trumpet solo was at the beginning, not the end. The end. Ugh. Fallen Ditch.
I run on beans. I run on laser beans.
What are these skits?
I don't know.
I've just straight up accepted that that the instrumentation is something that is normal. I stopped thinking about this objectively and just accepted them for what they are.
I didn't. I think...
that makes me a proud dad then.
Again, I think this would be a great song if the instruments were in tune and the vocals were in sync with the instrumental. But they're not. Neither of those things is true.
You'll get them next time.
No.
Sugar and Spikes.
I hate how, like, 4 out of 28 of these songs are actually intelligible.
I like how you went from, like, 2 to 4.
Yeah, there's 4 of 28 songs that are actually intelligible.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like, now you're retroactively, like, enjoying it more.
No, I'm not saying this is good. I'm saying it's intelligible. Intelligible is not a compliment.
Yeah,
it's the bare minimum.
Don't worry, you're soon enough you're gonna say, well, you know what? 6 of them are okay.
There's pretty great drum work at the end of this song for a different song. If the drums of this song were in another song, that'd be a great song, probably.
We're talking about Sugar and Spikes, right?
Yes, we are.
I like the first 3 seconds. Wait, that was what I was talking about. Ignore my comments.
You fucking...
hair pie.
How do you keep doing this? How does this keep happening?
Because there's so many intro. I like a couple of the intros in this album, but I don't remember which. Like, I have them noted, but I keep assuming that they're earlier than the last. I don't fucking know. Hair Pie Bake 2? I like the intro. I don't know how long the intro is.
You need to show me how you do your notes so I can see how you can screw this up. Like, you go track by track.
I'll show you my notes. They're in order. That's the worst part. I'll show you them.
How did you say what you meant for this song on an earlier song? Were you looking in the wrong place?
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at the wrong place. I just assumed because, like, I was like thinking, oh well, maybe it was this song, and then I forgot I noted that specifically later.
So you just said it because you were like, this is probably right, even though you didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Whatever.
I look at how much longer I have to go, and I feel like time keeps extending, like some sort of super task. The howling. Why? The instrumentation finally feels like clubs hitting me in the head. Jesus fucking Christ, the drums. The impromptu drum solo.
Which was good.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But also surprising.
Yeah, not for this song. It's good for another song.
Yeah. It took me this long to mutter, what the fuck is this?
It took you this long.
Yes.
It's every song for me, bro. This is the 19th time I've uttered that.
I'm open-minded.
I am too.
More open-minded than you.
No. You can't. You can't
Yeah.
fucking say that. I went into look. I'm willing to like. I was willing to like songs on this album. Even 19 tracks in, I was willing to like songs on this album. They just weren't good.
I like aspects of them.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
The fucking drums just now. But like,
Yeah.
but like, I can't. None of these songs have been outright good so far. The best thing I've said about something is it resembles good music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still music. So, just being objective,
Is
not
it?
even subjective.
Is it music?
I mean, some people speak up in a microphone, and they call that an acapella.
Is it though?
Listen, a child banging their head on a guitar is still music,
A child
whether you like
banging
it or
their
not.
head on a guitar rhythmically is music.
No, nothing has to be like rhythmic or anything. I would just say that, like, all things considered, it doesn't even have to be on time or whatever. Because theoretically, according to music theory, everything's on time somehow.
Right. Which is why
Yeah.
we need to be more critical of what we can consider music and what we can't.
Well, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Ant-Man B.
Ant-Man B. What is this, the next Marvel movie? I didn't even
Legally
write that
distinct
down. I just
Ant-Man.
said that off the cuff.
Legally distinct Ant-Man.
Legally distinct Ant-Man. Ant-Man B.
I want to be set free. I don't know how much longer I can take this album. A comment had said something about the wailing thing being a clarinet. I thought it was a sax. Either
I
way,
honestly couldn't. That's why I said like woodwind and brass instruments, because I couldn't tell what was what at any point.
it's just there. It's puncturing everything in the mix. It just sounds like a rubber chicken at times, and then sometimes it sounds like two rubber chickens at times. And then I ended off with writing down it's actually a clarinet, unfortunately.
This song is about racial conflicts.
Oh,
And then it's ruined by the last half of the song being instrumental with that awful woodwind and brass shit again.
I believe this is the one song I didn't check the lyrics on.
Yeah, it's straight up, it's a song about racial conflicts, and then it fucking blows it because it's awful instrumentally.
But if the message is still there, it's still there. That's the important part, right?
This would have been better as an a cappella song.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Fucking, I'll say any of these songs would have been better as the a cappella songs or the instrumental songs.
But then I would hate it even more.
I mean, get on my level, bro.
What level?
Of hating it.
Okay, whatever. Orange Claw Hammer.
Another a cappella song with footstep sounds or skips or whatever.
No, it doesn't. I don't think this one has skips. I said, would this be considered a sea shanty? Could this be a sea shanty?
I thought that, because it has the same effect as like the dust blows forward and the dust blows back, in that it sounds like he's just casually singing someone else's song, but it sounds like an old timey like sea shanty or something.
Yeah,
and it actually goes on pretty long. It's one of the longer songs on the album, given that it's an a cappella one.
yeah. I took the time to actually understand the poem.
And
Amazing what 30 years could do to you. It feels like it has been 30 years.
honestly,
And seawater flows through my eyes today. Hey, Matt.
What?
Guess what?
What?
Wildlife.
Wildlife, the B-side of Pakuko Cadaver. It's actually pretty structured, but out of sync vocals and cacophonous woodwind and brass. That's it.
Fucking clarinet is back.
Yeah.
Wildlife is not my best friend. I also wrote, it's my life, it's now or never. I don't want to live forever. I just want to die while I'm alive.
Don't compare this to Bon Jovi.
I also wrote down, my life. She's too much for my mirror.
She's too much for my mirror. I really have nothing to say about this one. I really have nothing to say about it.
Oh, okay. Well, my notes are very disjointed on this one.
Oh, God.
I apparently didn't even finish writing the word interesting. I just wrote interested. Or interest. I thought the intro was interest. I mean the spoken word by the engineer.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the song, you can hear Frank Zappa saying, shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get that in there. He should have just left it out.
That last line was great.
Yeah.
Also, each instrument, when I focus on one, becomes mentally overbearing.
Note the clever slate.
Yes. Hobo Chang Ba.
Why is he singing it like that? It sounds like
better question.
It sounds like he's making fun of someone who can actually sing.
Here's the better question. What's up with the sleigh bells?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I also wrote down, is this a chant?
Probably.
You know what? I also wrote this down. So I sometimes hear him say Star Wars Claw.
Okay.
Time passes by faster and faster while I'm listening to this. The blimp.
The
Mouse
blimp.
trap replica.
Oh, like
In
Trout Mask
parentheses.
Replica. That just hit me.
Yeah.
Mousetrap Replica, Trout Mask Replica. Okay, okay.
Amazing.
This actually sounds like a really good overture track from like a concept album or movie musical soundtrack or some shit like that.
The blimp! The blimp! The blimp! Listen to me! The blimp! Did you fucking hear me? The blimp! It's the blimp!
This is shockingly what the song is like.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't suck, but it's hardly a song.
I mean, as much of a song as all the other songs. I mean, what
I'd
makes?
say a
I mean,
little
this
bit
one's
less.
a little bit less.
I mean, it's just it's like a radio broadcast of this dude being like the blimp with like this like newsreel music in the background. But like it you know, it's not like they. I know all of it doesn't come together with the music and words, but like this isn't. It's not singing. You know, it's just the blimp. You know.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's like all of the things I like even a little bit on this album feel incomplete. Like they're mocking the idea of finished music.
I mean, I'm gonna say this right now. I like my music incomplete.
I know you do because you never finish anything.
What the fuck are you on about? I've been writing music this entire month and finishing it.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, I'm proud
I
of
do
you.
this every year.
But we're also only
Huh?
like a couple days into the month, so
Oh, I did it last year and I did it the year before, and I always do it. Like I write like a song a day, and I finish it every day with like the intentions of all the songs being at least 3 minutes long.
and how many do you release?
None of them.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm like every recording musician with like a soul.
Right. And that's fine. I'm not criticizing what you do. I'm just saying that they had the fucking audacity to release the shit on this album and it's not finished.
I mean, if I was Captain Beefheart, I would do it anyway, because I'm Captain Beefheart.
Who you never explained who he is. So I'm Captain Beefheart doesn't really mean anything.
Just put on a mask. And you too could be.
Captain Beefheart.
Yes, and his magic band. The magic band being like brain breaking down from staying up too late.
Staying up too late listening to
The
Trout Mask
shadows
Replica.
the shadows you see late at night are the magic band.
The magic band are my sleep paralysis demons.
Yeah.
Imagine if this fucking the thing on this album cover, the friggin' fish mask with the hat. Imagine if that was somebody's sleep paralysis demon. You just wake up in the middle of the night and that's in the corner of your room.
The album
Oh my
shows
god!
up out of nowhere.
Imagine if somebody like in the 60s or 70s who had this vinyl like had it like stacked on like somewhere. It was like the top of their stack, and the stack was like vertical for some reason, like on a shelf or something. And they wake up in the
Yeah.
middle of the night and see that in the front of the stack, like from the other side of the room. That's terrifying. That's so terrifying.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
We should make this a horror movie. We should make this a horror
God,
movie where
no,
somebody goes
no.
around murdering people with the look of the dude on the cover of Trout Mask Replica.
Oh, it'd just be called Mask.
The Mask is already a movie. We can't call it that.
Well, no, that is the Mask. We'd make
Right.
it distinct and call it Mask, cause we're
Mask.
every modern day reboot or whatever. We'll just say fuck it. You know what? Nobody needs to be updated. We'll just call it Mask.
Mask.
Yeah, no, it'd be shitty and it'd be produced by Blumhouse. Steal softly through snow.
Steal Softly Through Snow, track 26. We're so fucking close to being done.
Instrumentation, good as always. Band plays well. Vocals are vocals. Well. There are a lot of drum fills towards the end.
The song has all the same problems the other tracks do, but I do like how the last line of the song is sung a cappella. The instruments actually come to a natural end before it, rather than just stopping, which is actually somehow a step up for this album.
All fart at play.
So pretty much anything my parents do.
Trout Mask Replica.
No, come on, acknowledge that. That was funny.
More spoken word poems. Baloney.
This song doesn't even have a rhythm. It's just Captain Beefheart reading a story while music plays in the background. For the first 5/6 of it. Then the music stops, but the story continues without a beat.
I mean, you just described a lot of spoken word music.
What? What? Are you serious? They just speak it for like a while, and then at some point in the song, the music just stops, but they keep speaking as if nothing happened. You can't tell me that's how spoken word music is.
No, no, but I'm saying like a lot of spoken word is like they have, somebody reads a poem or whatever, and or it sounds like a poem, and they aren't singing it, they're just speaking it,
Right, right,
and
right.
then the music just goes.
That's not a problem. It's when the music stops.
Yeah,
And also, he put this on an album full of other stuff where even the acapella stuff was more melodic than this, I guess you could say. Like I say, he keeps doing the same shit over and over, but then he does new shit. That's also bad.
I mean, hey, listen, the album's good at at like subverting some expectations, all right?
Is
For
it?
better or for worse.
Is it? Because I feel like once I heard Frownland, like,
You heard everything.
yeah, like,
Oh,
like my expectations were
well.
set, and it never deviated from them.
Well, for me, my expectations were pretty much like already where they were when I last listened to the album. I guess around 2018,
Which was
which was well, my expectations were I know that this album is gonna be a mess, but I want to see if there are any parts that I can like. My goal with this entire album in mind was to see if I could like something, and I think I did. I got somewhere because Veterans Day Poppy.
Veterans Day Poppy, the final track. The vocals only go on for the first minute, but this is a 4.5 minute song. And the vocal bit is actually pretty good and about a man's sorrow regarding the British Veterans Day, reminding him of how his son died during the war. But then, the instrumental outro is actually really good. And it's not cacophonous or out of tune at all. It's just a really good rock outro to close the album.
The second half sounds like something I could hear. I could hear like Trico doing, but slower, and it's very proto math rock.
And it's
I could
good.
safely, I could safely say that this is the song I like.
So can I.
This is one of two songs that I like in this
This
album.
is the only song that I can actually consider very good. And it makes me so mad because it's the last song.
Another thing I noticed is that this song starts with "I cry."
I cry. I cry. I cry when I realize they could have made good music this whole time and they chose not to.
Well, if you wanted to listen to their good music, you go listen to the first
They're
album. That's why I
mocking
didn't
us,
choose the
dude.
first album.
They're mocking us.
Yeah, it's a whole joke album. Why else would I choose this?
But people don't treat it as that. People treat it as unironically good.
Well, those people are pretentious fucks. This album is literally like a serious joke album, but don't get me wrong, there are serious topics in it, but a mass majority of it was made as a joke. And what I mean by that is like lyrically wise, like I mean aspects of it are definitely like abstract and very inspired by probably drugs.
Oh, yeah.
But but again, I feel like some people take this album way too seriously. And like I get it, the whole album was fucking composed to like a T. But this album's trying to make fun of something. I don't know what, but it is. And I feel like the reason why it's very much of like being in a joke. And the people who aren't in the joke will find it to be like shitty and or really really like higher overrated. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Are those your final thoughts?
No, I give this a shit. I don't know how I'm gonna get that in there.
Okay, okay, I see what you're
Also,
doing.
the blimp.
The blimp.
Wait. I'm not done yet. This album is a well crafted and shined shoe, a single shoe. It's on display and is boxed in cardboard, polyester bags, around with no other sole around. The missing piece, but with a shoe
Was that a
and
fucking pun?
nothing to place it next to it. This was mental agony after the first half, and it just kept going. I just wanted it to be done, and it didn't stop. I listened to the whole thing in one sitting before recording. I regret it. I don't regret it actually, but God, it's too much. It'll drive you insane. But you know what? I'll say this: every fucking person who makes music, listens to music, they gotta fucking listen to this album at least once.
No, they don't.
Yes,
No,
I feel
no,
like
they
this is an
don't.
essential thing to listen to, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, and the reason why I feel that way is because there's a lot that you could theoretically take out of this album, even if you hate it, because it will teach you a lot more about what you like and what you don't like. And I think that is more important than inherently just listening to this for fuck all. I mean, even with interest aside, you could get something out of it.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. Here are my final thoughts. Just because something is weird and experimental does not mean that it's good. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper was weird for the time, and then the White Album came along and was so much weirder. But it worked because it was the brainchild of four of the most creative musicians who had more individual creative control than they probably had in the entire lifespan of the Beatles up to that point. Captain Beefheart achieved this by abusing his band members, and it's completely incomprehensible. But because it has Frank Zappa's name slapped on it, of course people acclaim it as a masterpiece. It's not. It's garbage. Like, if you wanted to get me back for choosing Sour and Slippery When Wet, then congratulations. You did it. What did it cost? My fucking sanity.
Both of our sanities.
Like, I feel like
I'm gonna.
you didn't just get me back for Sour and Slippery When Wet. You went so much further in that direction that, like, I feel like now I have to get you back, even though you just got me back.
I mean, an eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye, but you took both eyes.
Well, then how are you gonna pick an album if you can't see?
I don't know. I'm blind now.
Go make a ritual circle of your own. Or maybe. Do I bring up the guillotine again?
The guillotine?
The guillotine, fucker. Oh my god. Well, you know what?
What?
I hope you like Trout.
I didn't. I hate trout. I can't. No. If I ever have the opportunity to eat trout, if I'm ever like in a restaurant or like a store and I see trout, I'm just gonna fucking think of this album. And it's your fault.
All good. I mean, hey, listen. I don't think of sour whenever I eat something sour.
You ruined a fish for me, dude.
There are other fishes in the sea.
There are other fish. Shut up. God. Do you have a music recommendation?
Perfume released a new song. I believe it's called Polygon Wave.
Okay.
Yeah.
My recommendation is anything but this. Please, for the love of God, go listen to literally anything that isn't on this album. It'll do you good.
Listen to Veterans Day Poppy.
No, listen to nothing on this album.
What the fuck
Veterans
are you
Day
on about?
Poppy will give you unrealistic expectations of what to expect from the rest of it.
Don't worry. Don't listen to my buddy Matt here. He's been to Tumblr. He's a huge Homestuck fan.
I haven't been to Tumblr. I hate Homestuck.
Huge Homestuck fan. Was a part of the FNAF community. Was also a part of the Undertale community. Don't listen to him.
Undertale's alright too.
Don't listen to him. His opinion is invalidated.
Okay.
I'm fucking around.
Okay. My actual recommendation. I'm gonna recommend Freedom by Paul McCartney. This song has been...
You're gonna need some freedom after this.
This song... Okay, I am. This song has been stuck in my head for weeks, ever since we did the Silent Alarm episode, and you were talking about songs with, like, chants in them. Because the quickest one that came to my mind was Freedom by Paul McCartney. I think it was written around the time 9/11 happened, and there's a live version of it too, but it just goes on for way too long, and like there's chanting in it, and like it's really good if you do like that kind of stuff. And 4th of July just happened, so it's very patriotic, even though he's British. It's great. Freedom by Paul McCartney.
So, yeah, this is on a Friday. This is my giant fuck you to Matt, and my cat's getting on my desk now. So, my cat says hi, even though you can't probably hear him. And another thing to add to my weird rant that I did towards my final thoughts is that I feel like some people are really pretentious about this album, and this album is not as good as they say. But it is a classic. I'll admit that. That much I can much I can't say for a fact.
So, do you like this album?
No! What?
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen, I do not like this album.
Okay, good.
I enjoy it because of the things it tried to do. And especially back then. It makes it like a fucking... It's a SoundCloud album shitpost.
White Album came out before this,
Before that was cool.
dude.
Done with Frank Zappa. That's why I think this album is so acclaimed.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. It's a fucking left turn out of everything else. And there's still nothing that sounds like it to this day.
And there shouldn't be, to be clear. Please,
yes,
nobody make anything like this.
It was a one-off, and it was a one-off that is never going to be outdone because fucking, I don't think anybody else has the chops to do it.
Well,
Unless
everyone.
they fucking dedicate their life to it.
Well,
but don't
it's-
fucking do that.
Well, the way you put outdone is it's never going to be outdone negatively. I think everything outdoes it that came before or after it in terms of positive. But no one's ever going to make anything worse than this. You're right.
But at the same time, like, I'm gonna also admit that, like, this was also calculated. And to anybody thinking that they can grab a fucking guitar and pretend that they're playing something that's a masterpiece by accident, it probably isn't. It will be no Trout Mask Replica.
No, first you have to physically and mentally and verbally abuse your bandmates.
Listen to this album a couple times on repeat.
Don't.
With a blindfold on.
Don't.
And then maybe you'll start to feel what the band members have
If you are
felt.
heavily inebriated, then maybe you'll start to feel what the band members felt.
That inherent shittiness will last the entire day. Go ahead, write some music while you're feeling that way. Who knows? You won't be Captain Beefheart. But nobody will.
And nobody should be.